you're probably already in your seat, but if you're not already, get there. All right, so you want your feet comfortably on the floor or some surface. If your feet aren't touching the floor, put something underneath there to get them there. And if the back can be away from the back of the chair, great. If you need that support, great. Okay, just be comfortable. Let's start with a bit of mindful movement. So we'll dress the shoulders up towards your ears on your in-breath, and then roll them back and down on your out-breath. Keep going. I'm just going to let a few more visitors in. Good. So breathing in, lifting up the shoulders. Breathing out, letting the shoulders roll back and down. Hi, Linda and Bob. I'm just going to mute you. Thank you for joining. All right, we'll do maybe one more round. Hi, Linda. Welcome.
Hi.
Go ahead and mute you, so we'll continue here. Okay, we're good. Hi, Bob. Thanks. All right. If there's any last adjustments, go ahead and make them. Otherwise, we're going to just settle in, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. The ears are rising from the shoulders. Eyes can be open or closed in a steady gaze, whatever helps you tune in to your body right now and tune out to the distractions. We'll begin that embodiment practice where we notice the ground coming up to support you, whatever surfaces that you can sense. Maybe it's at your feet, backs of your thighs, sit bones. And seeing if you have that equal weight between the sit bones or just one feel a little heavier than the other. And if you feel that heaviness on one side versus the other, what do you have to do to find that home base? From there, we're going to rise up from the ground, from our seat, not actually sitting, standing, but just rising up through the spine, creating space through each vertebrae, the top of your head rising, and then the chin dropping in ever so gently. Continue that practice, noticing the other senses. Can you pick up on some sounds maybe outside of your space? And can you begin to pick up on sounds maybe inside your space? And then noticing the sound of your breath. Right. Noticing the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. Temperature on the way in might be a little cooler than the temperature on the way out. Welcome all that have just joined. All right, and let's find a breath practice with a little mantra this morning. So normally I don't add mantra in the beginning of the practice, but it's a breath with some words. So as we breathe in, you can think to yourself, I am. And on the breath out, grateful. Each breath in, silently to yourself, I am. Exhale, grateful. 3 more cycles. Those shoulders drop away from your ears each time you breathe out. Next exhale, just let go of the mantra, let go of that breath rhythm, come back to what feels natural. We'll pause now to set our intention for the day if you haven't already. Well into the morning, but let's pause here, maybe palms together, palms in your lap. How are you going to show up today towards yourself, towards each other, or towards the planet, or something that includes all three, abundance or gratitude. All right, I could sit and intend for a long time, but let's get moving. So if your palms are not already in the center, let's meet there. You're gonna spread the fingers out and maybe the thumbs touch your chest. Elbows send themselves out, and you'll feel that maybe lifting of the spine just by doing that. Full breath in there, a little bit of pressure to the hands. When we're ready, we're gonna send those fingertips forward. You're gonna reach forward as far as it feels comfortable, and then flip the palms out like you're pushing away the muck. And then we'll turn the palms up, reaching to the sky. Always moving in whatever feels best for your body this morning, this moment. 2 more. Let's move it out. Push it away. Lift it up. Back to your home. Last one. Meet here in the center, elbows out, push the palms together, 1 full breath. All right, let's clasp those hands, start a figure 8 or infinity sign, whatever you associate this motion with. Next time we meet the center of the figure 8, you're gonna pause and then we'll head the other direction. I promise there's another direction. Okay, and then next time we send ourselves to the middle, pause, and come back to center. So keep the hands clasped. On the exhale, you're gonna send the backs of the hands forward, let your shoulder blades spread, maybe your head drops a little bit. If it feels okay, flip the palms forward. We're gonna rise up in breath. Out breath, flip back down. In breath, you're gonna pull the hands to the belly, open up the chest, maybe lift the chin. So just those few motions. Next time you breathe out, round it forward. Breathing in, flip, rise up. Breathing out, reflip, round down. Breathing in, hands to belly. Good. Last one. Round it out, breathing out. Flip it and rise. Reflip it and round. Hands to belly. All right, we'll be back in the center. Make any little adjustments. We're gonna bring the right hand towards your heart space and start with a head and arm motion as we sweep the hand across the chest, open out, reaching right, gazing right. Sweep the hand back across the chest, gazing left. 2 more. Next time we reach out, you're gonna pause there. Take the left hand to the side of the left chair and bring the right arm up and over. I'm gonna gaze down to the left. You can always have your right hand on your hip if that feels better. 1 more breath, push your right sit bone down. And exhale, we'll come back to meet in the middle. Make any little adjustments before we head to the other side. Left hand to the chest space. Inhale, open out to the left, gaze left. Exhale, sweep across, gaze right. 2 more. Next time we hold out to the left, pause. Take hold of the right side of the chair and start to sweep the left arm up and over. Maybe gaze down to the right. Keep your left sit bone grounded. 1 more breath. Okay, exhale, we'll meet back in the center. Make any little adjustments. All right, let's head through a little bit more spinal motion. So we did kind of cats and cows. We're gonna hula it now. You're gonna head over to your left sit bone, so you have a little more weight there. And then forward, over to the right sit bone, and then back towards the tailbone. It can be a fairly small motion if you want to work on more pelvic mobility, or you can start to get the upper body into it a little bit more too. All I ask is that you're breathing consciously. All right, we'll start to make that motion a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller until we come back to stillness. And then we're gonna head the other direction. So right sit bone first, forward, left, back, continue around. Breathing as you move. Always finding the space of nourishment and not forcing or striving. And then we're going to start to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little smaller until we come back to center. All right. We went through all the motions. Yes. Just making sure I didn't leave anything out. All right, let's open up the legs wide. And if you have, just having a block or something, but I'm just gonna grab mine. If you have something to put below you for a child's pose or wisdom pose, your child's pose could stop here at your legs. You could go to something between your thighs like a book or a step stool, or you could go down to your feet. Just please be mindful of your spines, your bodies, what feels good for you today. Wherever you've chosen, full breath in, let your belly expand. Exhale, mouth open. One more. All right, so start to slowly walk back up your legs. Your head's the last thing to rise at the top. All right, set that out of the way, and we're gonna grab our belt or strap if you've got it. If you don't, that's okay, you can go without. All right, we're gonna take the right leg out. Strap your right foot and take the right leg out. Left leg is also out, but it stays in a bent position. It does help to be a little bit scooched forward to the front of your seat if that's available to you. Sit up tall. We're gonna start to hinge towards that right side. I almost heard how I was going. Sunrise, sunset. Take your left hand down towards your right leg, and then we're gonna sweep across the sky, in breath. I just feel like I'm in some Broadway show. Gaze out to the left, and then swim back across the sky, sunset, gaze down to the right. I'm gonna flip the palm up and draw the shoulder blade back, bow and arrow. And then we'll slide it through again, 2 more. I'm gonna demo a smaller arm version, so if it bothers your shoulder, you can always do an elbow bent version. Next time the elbow draws back, we're in bow and arrow, you're gonna extend that arm outward, gaze out to the left. You could bend your elbow a little bit, or even a lot, and just have a shorter lever arm, if that feels better. One more breath. Exhale, we'll meet back up into center. All right, help that leg back in, and we'll switch sides. So if you're using the strap, swing it around the ball of your left foot. And trying to adjust your legs so that there's at least a little opening of whatever you can muster this morning. Grab onto that strap if you're using it. Sit up tall. We're hinging off to that left side. Take the right hand down towards that left leg. We're going to start that sunrise, sunset. Gazing out to the right. Coming back, if this head movement makes you dizzy, you can always keep your gaze just straight forward. Oops, I totally forgot my bow and arrow. Maybe you guys were doing the bow and arrow. I think I saw some are you doing that? I was in my own little world. All right, next time we bow and arrow and we swing it back, we're going to extend that right arm out, gazing out to the right. And again, choose the bent elbow version if that would feel better for your shoulder and other parts of you. One more breath, get a little length from your sit bones up. And then exhale, we'll come back to center. All right, and let go of the strap. You might want to just put it on the back of your chair somewhere handy. Probably won't use it for a bit. All right, let's see, we just have that leg out. So let's take the right leg out again. We're heading into our warrior two pose. So you're not able to bring the legs this wide, just try to find some opening of the inner thighs. Meet the palms in the middle. All right, we're gonna swing those fingertips forward again and slide across this imaginary pond. I don't know, I mentioned just like trickling the pond. Gaze out to the left. You're gonna flip the palms up, reach to the sky. Flip the palms down, reach back out, warrior two, gaze left. Slide across the pond. Palms meet in the middle and back to center. Great, here we go again. Out, across, gaze left. Palms slip, rise up. Palms flip, lower down. Slide back across. Meet in the middle. Next time out, we're going to hold it there. We're going to flip the palms, bend the elbows a little bit so you can soften those shoulders. Gaze towards the left if that's available to your neck and your equilibrium. It's like you're holding something precious in your hand, so it's cupped a little bit. Last breath here. Flip the back palm, face it down, and start to take that left arm towards the sky. You could always have this front hand on the hip, and that's where I'm going to stay. I'm having some shoulder stuff going on. One more breath. Great, we'll be back up in warrior two, palms flipped up. Flip the palms down. We're going to slide across that glassy pond. Meet the palms in the middle and back to your center. All right, let's help that right leg in. Give a little adjustment before we head to the other side. All right. Suddenly I forgot which side we were on. Left leg is out, right leg is also out. Let's meet in the center. All right, same motions. Forward, slide across, gaze right. Flip the palms, rising up. Flip the palms, lower down. Slide back across. Meet in the middle. See if you can meet those palms without looking at them. Good practice. And then we're back across 2 more times. Rising up. Lowering down. Back to the middle. To your home. All right. This time we're going to hold it in warrior two. We'll flip the palms, bend the elbows a little bit so you can soften the shoulders, gaze towards the right. Where might you find the ease in your effort right now? One more breath before we shift. Okay, we'll flip the back palm, face it down, start to bring the right arm towards the sky. Again, you could always choose to have that front hand on your hip. If back extensions don't feel great, just stay more upright, more neutral. Okay, one last breath here. We'll meet back in warrior two, arms, palms up. Flip the palms down, slide across your glassy pond. Meet back in the center and back to your home. Full breath. All right, let's tilt that leg back in. Make any little adjustments. All right, we're gonna move to standing if you are able to or would like to. You can always remain seated, or maybe that is where you need to be. Wherever you are, we're gonna attempt to go to standing. So even if you're not joining us, you're gonna make that motion of. So feet are about hip width apart. We're gonna tuck them back underneath you a little bit so that your knees are actually over your feet. Start to lean forward. Again, it helps to be scooch forward. Hands to thighs, chair, or free, your choice. Exhale, rise up. Or if you're staying seated, squeeze your tush. And slowly come back to standing. All right. If your equilibrium is with you, let's shift to the back of your chair if you're using it for some extra balance. Just stand right up. Let's see. That's good. All right, let's take the feet out wide. And if it feels okay to let go of the chair, you're welcome to. We're gonna send the arms out, starfish. On the in-breath, we're gonna lift up. If holding onto the chair seems like a better choice, keep holding. Inhale, rising. Exhale, palm slip. If it feels okay to shift the gaze up as your palms flip up and your gaze turns down as your palms flip down. One more after this. Flip the palms. We're going to come back to the chair. I'm going to hold on to the chair with my right hand and start to take the left arm up. And take the gaze down to the right. Back to center. You're using the chair, hold on with the left hand, bring the right arm up and take the gaze down to the left. One more to each. Last one. Back to center, make any little adjustments. We're going to heel toe or bring those feet back to about hip width apart. So attempt to spread your toes out if you can, if that's available to you, or at least imagine that they are. And set your outer toes down and then draw your big toes towards the center. Okay. You're going to find awareness of your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. So that's your mountain pose, and then palms are going to come forward. You're going to try to spread your thighs out, but don't move your legs, and spread your arms out, but don't really move your arms. Like an isometric, very energized mountain pose. All right, and that's what we'll come back to when I say mountain pose. I'm going to turn my chair, but you don't need to, so just so you can see. So I'm going to hold on to the chair. We're going to start lifting the heels. So you're going to come onto the toes. And if this is not available to you, perhaps you can just curl the arches in. And if you're not able to move your feet at all, you can do this with your hands. So you can go down with the hands and up. Inhale up, exhale. Maybe go back to the heels. You've got that availability. And if you can do this with only holding on to one hand, you're welcome to, or let go for a challenge. Please be safe, please be safe. Especially when you go to the back, that's more of a challenge, I think, for balance. All right, last one. All right, and come back to center. Make any little adjustments. Maybe a mountain pose, that very active mountain pose. Like your thighs are spreading out, your arms are spreading out, your chest is rising. And come back. We're going to go through our series of chair pose. So if you can let go of the chair, great. If not, keep holding. Reaching up towards the sides, in breath. Out breath, sit back like you're sitting into a chair, but please don't sit all the way down. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower the arms down. I'm going to show the one arm holding version. You keep going. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arms come down. Keep going. In breath, rise. Exhale, sit. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. One more. You're seated, you're moving your arms, you're leaning into this. Alright, meet me in mountain pose, that very active mountain pose. In breath. Out breath. Alright, I'm going to shift so that the chair's on the right side of me if you're using it for assistance. Alright, plan myself here. Your right leg is going to step forward, the left leg is back. So if you're in seated, adjust your right foot a bit forward of your left. Holding onto the chair, we're bending into that front knee. We're going to lift the sky up. It's pretty light today, don't worry. Exhale, push it down. We're bending in, rising, in breath. Lower back down. If you'd like to practice taking your gaze up, I would hold on to the chair. So you're looking up as you bring them up and looking down as you come down. If you don't want to practice that or you feel steady doing it without holding on, you're welcome to. Next time we reach up, we're going to pause there. So I might be reaching with both arms. Open them up like a big V shape. You might be holding onto the chair. Add a mudra. I always add mudras in, so index finger to thumb or middle finger. Those are my two favorite go-tos. One more breath here. Can you feel your back heel? Push the air down. Release. We're going to step back to center. Make any little adjustments. Meet me in mountain pose. One breath, seated or standing. All right, lovely. Let's take the right foot, step it towards the right chair, and the left foot steps out. So if you're in seated, you're making, your right leg's gonna be your bent leg, your left leg's gonna be your straight leg. Bending in the front knee. If you're standing, you're buttressing up maybe to your chair. Wherever you are, reaching that left arm back out. If you feel safe enough, reach the right arm out. Flip those palms, bend the elbows a little bit. And if you're looking towards the screen right now, just slowly, slowly, slowly start to take your gaze out towards the right. Feel your back heel, find some ease here. I'm going to take the, left hand to the hip. If you've got the right hand reaching, if you can, start to reach forward towards the front of the chair and then come back up. If holding onto the chair feels better to do that, you can still do the same. Inhaling to reach a little bit. Exhaling to come back. One more. Okay, hold on to the chair, straighten that front leg. Take a breath. We're gonna keep, actually we're gonna bend into that front knee again. So if you're seated, that front leg is gonna stay bent. You're gonna start to bring the front arm either down to the chair or down to your thigh. Take your left hand to the lower right rib cage. On the inhale, start to sweep it across like you're giving your belly a nice little rub. And extend that left arm up and out. You can always have this hand on the hip and you can always be up a little bit higher too. You drop those shoulders out of your ears. One more breath. Good. Bring that hand to the hip, left hand. Use the chair to push you back up. Exhale. Little adjustments. We've got one more here before we move. Triangle. This time both legs stay straight. So if you're in seated, straighten out that front leg as much as it feels comfortable. Ta-da! We're going to start just to control our lean to the right. And you can always have your elbows a little bit more bent and just reach through your hands. This is really like a ta-da. So just make it feel comfortable for yourself. One more breath. Okay, bring that left hand back to the hip. Use your front hand to give you a boost back up. All right, this time we get to ease out of this. So heel toe, I know you can always choose to come out of these poses before I say. Let's come back to center. Make any little adjustments, maybe a mountain pose. One breath. I'm going to try a different balance pose today. Maybe we'll do tree because I know people like that one. But if you're able to, you're going to stand on your right foot and start to slide the left leg away. And as you do, maybe the left arm comes away. And as you exhale, come back to center. If you're in seated, maybe you're just opening up that left hip even just a little bit more, or using just your hand and your eyes to gaze and create that motion. If you're in seated, you're putting more weight, actually, anyway, standing or seated, you're putting more weight in that right leg. Last one. Meet me back. You're going to toe plant that left foot and start to roll out that knee. So now we're into tree pose. You could stay here, holding on. You could come to seed pod. Your tree branches could grow and unfurl, or you might just be holding on. Keep your roots grounded. You could be any version of a tree. You could be a cactus or a willow. If you're seated, you're putting more weight on your right side. Sit bone. One more breath. And maybe back in the center to seed pod, either half or full. That leg should be saying something. Give it a little fist bump, give it a little love. Maybe a mountain pose, one breath. Always settling. I forgot down dog last week, so let's find that. If you're in seated, it might look more like child's pose again. So you can face what surface the chair and start to walk back. Feet are about hip width or wider. Knees can be bent. Trying to keep that flat back. It's going to show a higher furniture version. You could be at a high bookshelf or a counter. One more breath if you're still there. Bend those knees, walk it forward, exhale your head's this last thing to join you at the top. Okay. If we're ready, we're gonna shift the chair if you need to shift it. It's gonna be on the left side of you. You're sitting in your chair, please don't shift it. I don't think it needs to go anywhere. Okay, I believe the left foot is forward this time. So seated or standing, your left foot is a little bit more forward of your right. Okay. Great. So, if you're in standing, the left leg's gonna bend, the right arm's gonna reach. If you're in seated, both arms could reach. Exhale, push it back down. I'm gonna show two arm reaching if you wanna try that. If you're practicing your balance and you know it's okay for you to lift your eyes a little bit as you look, reach up, lower your eyes as you come down. This next one we're going to pause and hold. So you could Be reaching with both arms, Adho Mudra, wherever you might be. Index finger, middle finger, or hold on to the chair. Find some ease in your effort. One more breath. Then lower it back down and step back to center. Or bring your feet back to center if you're in sitting. Meet me in mountain, seated or standing, active mountain. All right. Let's step the left foot towards the chair, or if you're sitting, the left leg is going to be your bent leg. The right leg is going to be your straight leg. All right. If you're in standing, you might want to bend that front knee, buttressing it into the chair. All right. Where did we go? We took the right leg, right arm out. And maybe if you're setting up, you can bring the left arm out, or if you're in sitting, bring both. Flip the palms, bend the elbows, something precious in your hands. If you're looking toward the screen, slowly start to take your gaze out to the left. Slow, slow, slow. One more breath. Lift through your hips so that you're not doing a back bend, but you're lifting, getting taller. Take your right hand back to your hip. Your left hand needs a little break. I feel like mine does. I'm just going to give it a little break. We're going to start that reach. So you're reaching towards the left. In breath. Out breath, come back to center. Hold on to the chair if that would feel safer, but you're still making that same kind of trunk lean. 2 more. Back in the center, maybe 2 arms are reaching, maybe just one. I know that left arm's getting heavy. 1 more breath. Okay, release them. We'll straighten that front leg just for a reprieve. If you're in standing, if you're seated, you can keep it bent. All right, bending back in if you're not there already. I'm going to start to lean, lean, lean. So I'm getting length through my spine here rather than just collapsing. Oh. Shouldn't have done that one. And you're either resting that forearm on the top of the chair or maybe your thigh. If you're in seated, take that right hand to the lower left rib cage. Stroke your lovely little belly. Sweep it across the sky. Okay. And you could bend the elbow and reach from there, or maybe even have the hand on the hip. Shoulders are out of the ears. 1 more breath. Bring the right arm back down. Use your front arm to give you a boost back up. Exhale. Little adjustments. We got 1 more pose here. Right, both legs are straight this time. If you're in seated, you can attempt to make that left leg a little straighter. We're going to reach. Ta-da! We're going to control our tip over. And again, you can bend those elbows too and reach through the hands. For me, I have to push through the toes just a little bit to keep my knees from hyperextending, so that might help me too. 1 more breath. I know this is a hard one, at least it's for me. All right, in breath. Out breath, exhale, rise up slowly, maybe bend that front knee a little. All right, and we're going to heel toe, step it back in. Take any little adjustments, meet in mountain pose, 1 breath. Using the chair for this next balance one, we added this one in. If you can spread the toes of your left foot, or at least imagine that they are. You're going to start to swing that right foot out or leg out as the arm reaches out. Keep going if that feels safe. If you're in seated, it might just be a rotation or opening of that left leg as you reach the right leg as you reach the right arm out. Okay, so just moving with your breath. Change your gaze to the right if that feels safe. 1 more. Come back to center. You can give that left leg a little break if you need it. Otherwise, meet me in tree pose. So right knee is out a bit. Half a seed pod, maybe a full seed pod. You could be next to a wall because we're at home. You could have a wall and still, have both arms together here. Maybe your tree branches grow. Be your own tree. Show a version of just holding on with one hand. If you're in seated, you're putting more weight on that left sit bone, that left foot. One more breath, I know. All right, meet me back in either half seat pod or full seat pod. Ease out, give that left leg a little love if it needs it. Maybe it's your shoulders. Right. Last version of our down dog, or maybe it's child's pose if you're in seated. So you can face your chair, walk it back. We got osteoporosis or osteopenia, just really bending forward is safe as long as your back is relatively flat. If that still feels unsafe, go to a higher surface like a bookshelf or a counter. Full breath in and out. Slowly walk it forward. Head's the last thing to rise. Alright. I'm going to move the chair back to where you want it to be for sitting. That's where we're heading next. There we go. Alright, so you can go down in a very concerted effort, mindful way, or just get yourself there safely. If you're not already there, just imagine that you are going there. You're going to squeeze your tush a little bit. Make sure the chair's behind you, please. I laugh, but that's not funny. Okay. Let's take your strap if you've got it or you're using it. It does help to be scooched forward to the front of your seat if that's available to you. You're going to take your right foot forward. And if you don't have a strap, just try to take your right leg forward, your left leg is bent back. Sit up tall. That might be plenty. If you'd like a little bit more, you can start to hinge forward. Don't move, I'm just going to move just for visuals. It's okay for your back to round and you like it just feels good to tuck your tailbone a little bit, you're welcome to. Relax those shoulders, your jaw. One more breath in and out. On your exhale, rise up slowly. We're going to switch sides. Same thing, other side. Looking the ball of your foot if you're using the strap. Sitting up tall, in breath. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you want to go forward a little bit. Never seeking for something to be painful. Like if a stretch is painful, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm doing some good. For me, that's the signal. Go to that edge of that discomfort and then back out of it. Soften the shoulders, jaws. Take a full inhale. On your exhale, we're going to rise back up. All right. We come into our figure four, so you can put the strap away for now. And we'll start with the right leg. So if you can cross the right ankle over the left thigh, great. If it needs to be lower, great. Either way, find your spot. Sitting up tall. Again, that might be plenty. That lean forward can be intense. And demonstrate. Just being up a little bit higher can open up those hips. So if you feel like you're just stuck in this, get up a little bit higher on a pillow. That'll give you more range. Relax those shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Come back up. And you're either crossing that leg all the way over, or you could keep it in that position, or uncross it, whatever feels best. And take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh, right hand to the outside of the right hip, into that mild rotation. Osteoporosis and osteopenia, folks, just don't over twist here. We need to be able to turn functionally, but just doesn't need to be aggressive. Relax those shoulders. In breath. Out breath. Meet you back in the center. Uncross if it's not already. Recross on the other side. So either you're doing low version or high version. Sitting up tall. Again, that might be enough. We're always practicing contentment. If you're wanting a little bit more that feels nourishing, you're welcome to hinge forward. Really extending on your in-breath, shoulders relaxing on your out-breath. Right, take a full inhale, and on your exhale, we're getting back up. Rise up, not standing. That was a wrong cue. Just coming back to upright. And either you can cross that leg over or uncross it, whatever feels most comfortable. Right hand to the outside of your left thigh, left hand to the outside of your left hip. Try to attempt to keep both shoulders back a little bit here. One more breath. All right, we'll be back in the center. We can uncross. Perfect timing. All right, we're going to end with a little bit of a love hug and before we head to relaxation. So we're going to open up, gather all the goodness up, and then wrap it around yourself. Full breath in and out. Notice which arm is on top because you're going to switch arms next time. Inhale, gather all the goodness up. Wrap it around yourself. Opposite arm on top, full breath in and out. Good, last time, gather up all the goodness, in breath. And we meet back in the center, palms together, right where we started. All right, if there's any little adjustments that your body wants to make before we head to relaxation, you're welcome to. So you can stay in your seat, or you can, if you like to be on the floor, you're able to go on the floor, because you know you don't have to get up quickly. Or just stay in your chair. I like to put something in front if I'm going to be in a chair, Shavasana. So just something under the feet takes the pressure off the backs of the legs. And I like to put something under my arms because it just feels like sometimes my shoulders are so heavy, it's pulling on my neck. So you can put a pillow under your arms to just add a little bit more comfort. If you're new here, I take us through a brief guided relaxation. We rest for some quiet, and then you'll hear 3 bells. It doesn't mean you pop right up. We're going to slowly come out of it, finish with a mudra and gratitude. Allowing the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, your choice. Let's start to smooth out those muscles of thinking, the forehead. Space between the eyebrows gets broader and softer. Through the temples. Eyes become heavy, head becomes heavy. Joint of the jaw releases. Space between the teeth. Shoulder blades just settling to the surface behind you. Feeling more space from your ears to the tops of your shoulders. No more gripping or holding. So as you notice the next thought train coming along, just stop it in its tracks. Don't even attempt to follow it. Your awareness will come back to wherever you feel the breath moving in and moving out. Nowhere to be and nothing to do. These next few moments are yours. Next breath becoming a bit more conscious, maybe a bit deeper. You fill the belly, the middle ribs, space around the heart. Slow, steady exhale. How slow can you go? Might already be beginning some mindful movement. I always suggest these, you don't have to do anything. Strumming the tips of the fingers with your thumb, like you could feel your fingerprint for the very first time. Maybe curling in of the toes and the fingers and kind of tensing everything up on an in-breath and then releasing it on an out-breath. Maybe rolling the wrist and or ankles. Rocking the head side to side. Maybe a cat stretch or a dog stretch, or partial. Before you bring yourself back to a more upright. Great. If your back can be away from the chair, great. If it needs some support, that's okay too. We're going to meet this week's mudra is a Hejraya mudra. So right hand over the heart space, left hand over that, and those fingers spread wide, like this, holding and encapsulating your heart there. Soften the shoulders, maybe close the eyes. And we'll find that breath mantra that we found in the very beginning. On the in-breath, I am. On the out-breath, grateful. 3 more. You can move your hands there for gratitude after this next exhale, or you can move the hands to Namaste hands, or otherwise known as Anjali Mudra, or prayer hands, whatever feels most authentic. Now into a place within you where you recognize gratitude, to acknowledge at least one more thing in your lives, if not many things to be grateful for this moment. My list is long. We'll come to an end. I could stay there. We'll send this gratitude out in open arms, offering it beyond the walls that you're in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Palms meeting in the center. Exhale, hold on to that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. As always, I'll ohm us out. You're welcome to join in from wherever you are. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. A slow breath in to Om. And we breathe in, and we breathe out together. Namaste. Thank you all so much. All right.